Hey, chickadees, I'm Lay Rooster, and you're in the hen house. We're looking at a beginner guide for Marvel Future Revolution. This is a hot new game coming out on September 25th, so just around the corner. Make sure you pre register and you can get some free costume of your choice for this when you get in there. I wanted to go through just some of the basic orientation to get you started, to get you aware of this game. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you're wondering, maybe you've seen some stuff, but it's a little confusing. It's a fun game, and there are a lot of options. So we're just going to go through a few of the basic menus, and we're not going to get too deep into things, but just going to lay the groundwork for you. So here we are at our hero selection screen. One of the things is you get 4 free character slots open. You can see here I've got Doctor Strange, and like here is Star Lord. Their music changes. Captain America, Iron Man. I've got more. I've got 7 out of 8 open. You can have a maximum of 8 open right now, and there are 8 full characters available. So we expect that to change in the future. But on launch, this is what we should expect. So you have 4, and you are able to unlock additional ones for in-game currency crystals, which you will earn. So you can do that completely free to play. You can also buy those crystals. It's in-game currency, so you can do it either way and use those to unlock additional characters. You are going to be playing more than one character in this game, but you're going to typically have one main, maybe one alt main in addition to some other alts, kind of depending on what you want to do. But you can play. As you can see, I've got 7 characters unlocked, none of them at max level or anything right now. I've just been enjoying the game and not pushing too hard. We've got plenty of time to enjoy this. So one thing that I want you to know, something that I wasn't aware of initially, I thought that the story would naturally tell me when it was time to create a second character, and I was looking for that. That's not the case. The story is separate for each character, and so you can choose to start. You can choose your 4 characters at the very beginning, and just kind of mess around with them and see which one you like best, and then continue on. They have their own parts of the story, but then, of course, the main story is the same storyline for you. So you can do that whenever you want, or you can play one up until you reach some kind of bottleneck and then start another. It's completely your choice, but you're not waiting on the story to tell you. That's kind of what I was looking for, a certain point where it's like, go ahead and recruit another hero to help us out. Something like that. That didn't happen. I thought that could have been kind of cool, but that's not what happened. So anyway, you choose your characters in here, and you go from there, and you can change who your lead hero is. Mine's been Doctor Strange so far, and so far I'm happy with him right now. So let's get in. So we'll press start, let him sashay in there, and we'll see the screen after a little bit of loading. All right. So this tends to take a second for all the different people and different stuff to load in, but this is your main, the helicarrier. It's not really the helicarrier. This is your base. We call this base, what do they call this thing? Omega Flight Headquarters. All right. So let me see. And of course, I can fly so you can get some nice views. Look at those windows. Don't want to be the people that have to clean those windows in the superhero world. That's a job to avoid, especially because those people probably can't fly or levitate. Anyway, so this is your base area. People are loading in. There's all kinds of things going on in here. Different people to talk about. You see Rocket Raccoon over there. He tells you things about who to kill every day. And Nick Fury's there. He's going to be barking orders. There's different machines out here, and all that. And we're going to go through just a few of the things to kind of get you ready. So again, you've got your character and different stuff. You got your character and different things on the screen. So let's fly up and get up by that globe. All right, now let's look on our screen. We've got some different stuff. So let's just look. Here's your mini map. Okay, that you're familiar with this, and when you click on that, it brings you to your other map. Later on, you'll be able to choose some different places that you can go to. There are different lands that you go for the story, and then that you'll want to go to, like farm or do other types of activities or quests. So that's just part of your map and your mini map. This little icon gives you locations to the different buildings and things that you do in the home base, and it just kind of auto flies you there, or auto runs you there depending on your hero. So we've got some basic controls over in this way for your gameplay and you're at war. This is an action RPG, so it's a role playing game. You build up the characters, and it focuses very heavily on the action, the fighting, and the killing, and that sort of thing, and leveling up, as opposed to like a full sandbox kind of thing where you're doing a lot of crafting and harvesting. You have a little bit of crafting and a tiny amount of harvesting that you could do in this game, but it's nothing like games where people can spend hours doing that kind of thing. So anyway, let's pop in. These are some of the quests over here, but let's look at these top buttons to the right and just kind of give you an overview here, and then we'll look at the main screen as well, which will give you some orientation. So the little present gives you some, you get daily whenever you've logged in for like 60 minutes, you get to unlock all these different gifts. I stayed logged in overnight, so I've been in a few minutes, so I was able to collect those when I came in. And then all the different missions and special events that are going on that reward you. This is where you'll go when you get a payout. All right, so here's your level and your power, etc. Over here, the little shop cart buggy is the shop. You will go here. This is where you can spend money and crystals, which again is in-game currency. You can see I've got 10,000 in-game currency crystals. You can buy these with money. You will also earn them naturally through gameplay and some of your achievements. Then there's the in-game gold that gets used for a lot of other stuff. So you will come here because daily you're going to have you're going to get a free chest that you can open. So at least popping into the store once a day to get your free chest. But otherwise, you go in, and then there are things like the token section where you can spend some stuff that you get from having friends and kind of communicating with them, or doing any Omega War or Dimensional Duel things. So that's going to be in-game currency that you earn for free through play, and then stuff that you pay for. All right, you got your mail insignia. So when you get mail, a lot of times the items come in here. So when you do beat certain world bosses, the rewards will come to your email, and you can collect them there. Game notices and other things like that. So they give us some push rewards, and they come through the mail system that way. We're going to skip the hero figure because that is the hero until last. Then you got the little suitcase, and that is your inventory. This one's kind of robust. You'll be in here a lot because you're always managing your inventory and checking out what you've got. So just to give you an idea, this one with the little beaker, it shows you kind of all your potions, all the various little random drops that you've gotten from play. And if you have like boxes to open, chests that'll give you rewards, they'll be in here as well. Here on this section is where all your battle badges go, and these are all equipped. I don't have a whole bunch. You'll get a lot of these drop as you are just killing random hostiles. You'll get not as good as these. You'll get lesser ones, but you'll get them, and then you grind some of them up and do different things with them. This is where some cores go, which I don't have any in here because I've offloaded them to my squad storage. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And here is where you'll have costume pieces, the ones you're wearing, which have the little yellow triangle showing they're equipped, but also all the ones that you found and you have on your person. So you use these in order to kind of improve other costumes. And so you constantly want to get new costume pieces, and costumes are gear. So they use the term costume, and I think that's a bit confusing. So it's your costume is your gear. Those are the pieces that you want to have good stats on, and that'll kit out and equip your character. However, they also have independent and variable costume looks and colors and designs, and you're going to be collecting those, and then you can spec out your look separate from your stats. So that's a nice thing. All right, on the inventory. So then we go over to this one drop down, and that brings up the main screen. So we're going to go to the hero info first, which is the strong guy. All right, so that shows you your current hero. It gives you your squad rank, your levels, your power, some of your stats, attack, defense, HP. You have the auto equip button, which will equip the different gear that you have that the computer thinks is the best, which you will have to decide if you agree with or not. A lot of times it is, but later you may choose to refine it. and your battle badges. So these are your costumes, but like I said, these are your 4 pieces of gear. So you've got a head or chest piece, pants, gloves, and boots. And those are your 4 gear slots that you have. And you're always going to want your best gear, or the best gear that works together, because they have different abilities and things like that. So, like if we look at this piece of gear, it shows you some other gear that you have that's available to equip, but it also shows you some of like the stats, like attack bonuses, the bonus options that it has, and different set bonuses that you get when you equip multiple things together. And that's why I say that there may be times where you pick some stuff because of like set bonuses that push you over the edge, as opposed to something that is by itself better than one particular piece. So that'll become more apparent, and we'll cover that more in greater detail later on. So those are your equipped costumes. Here are your battle badges. These go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 of these. You get these from different elements of the game, and just playing through and doing different achievements and objectives. And then hopefully you get random drops that are improvements for yourself. And they go up in color and little star levels and all that. And so you put them in, usually auto equip them. Some of these have the ability to have these core sockets, which are just like gems essentially that further buff it, and so that gives you some customizability. But they just give you stat buffs of different types, and you constantly want to improve those because that improves your character. Now, when you go to the customize button, this is where we're talking about fashion. All right, this is where you're getting your look. So you can see like costumes, like A is your headpiece or your chest piece, B is your pants, C is your gloves, and D are your boots. So you can see every time you get a gear drop, it has these different costumes, and each of these costumes has different colors. If we look at, like they said, the modern set, there are 28 versions of the modern set, so it looks the same, but it has different color palettes and things. And then you can see that the ones that are darkened are the ones that I have versus ones that I have not unlocked through crafting, through gameplay and luck. And you get points for completing a set and different things like that. So they're pretty neat, but you can mix and match, and you can decide what piece you want for your look on your chest piece and your pants and your boots and your gloves and boots and stuff. And then you can choose if you like it or not. I don't like this one, but you can change it. And so that has no bearing on your stats or your gear. So your gear that's equipped on the other page stays the same, but you get to just mix and match with how you want to look. There's so many options. They have a lot of great looks, and they have a lot of color palette swaps in addition to great varying designs, that it really makes it nice because you can switch it up, particularly when you get bored and all that. There are times where we switch about every 45 minutes. I don't know. So anyway, so again, the costumes stay the same, but the look changes in battle badges. So that was the hero side, and then we go to what I'm kind of calling the main menu. So you can see the overlay gives you your squad rank. Your squad rank is basically your team. All right, in this, all your characters are in the same squad, so they all contribute to some degree with building up your squad rank. When you hit some walls, if you hit some walls with like one character, you may need to bring in and start leveling up an alt in order to further build up the squad rank, because that squad rank affects the power that you have. So just kind of going through some of these menus. Some of these are redundant, so we are going to quickly move through them. Like when we hit the heroes, if the hero info goes back to that screen that we showed you before. So here you will see a lot of different red dots telling you have something that you could look at. Sometimes it's going to stay there or not. So under your heroes, you also have your skills. So this shows all the different skills that you have. You see, like down here, this is my basic attack, which you probably are familiar with that concept. And this is the ultimate. So everybody has a basic, an ultimate, and then you have 5 different skills that you can slot. All right, so 5 different skills plus a basic plus an ultimate. And the basic and ultimate don't change, but you can change and affect the other skills and the order of the buttons that they're in and how they're set up. So as you go through play, like with this Master of the Mystic Arts, you can see there is one ability Actually, there are 4 different abilities on each skill, and you pay gold to level them up. And you can see in here, it shows you kind of a comparison of the damage it does and what it looks like, and you can get a feel for which one you want to have active. And you can have different one actives, but so you're just unlocking those and upgrading them as they come up. They hit at different level locks, and so you'll kind of make those choices. But one nice thing is you have a loadout, like I have loadout 1, loadout 2, and loadout 3. So on to when I look at this, one, you can see loadout 1 is different than loadout 2. I haven't really started using loadout 3, but I will. There's PvP in this game later, and so you're probably going to want a PvP build. I use one build for attacking sort of boss monsters in the world, and kind of going through to do a lot of damage and take down those tough opponents that you will do regularly, daily. And then I have one that's set for crowd control, for taking care of a lot of minions and things like that when I just want to grind that type of way. So you'll set how you want it to be, but you have some options here. So you're not limited to just 5. You can have different builds. So that's your skills in a nutshell. We'll talk about this more. Mega cards is another way that you can build your character. One of the great things, being a comic book geek myself, is these are all real comic book covers. And so the idea that I go around and try to randomly collect these comic books is, of course, very appealing to me, and they have nice art in them. So you can equip various cards. They give you stats. All right, so some bonus stats. They give you if you can get some sets like this one. Anyone that has the little infinity symbol is part of a set. This is like set number 1. That's part of set number 8. That one is not part of a set, and they have stars beneath them, indicating their level and power. You level them up. You have own cards, so you can see you got a lot of different ones, and they have different card sets. And so you use what I call junk cards to level up cards that are more valuable to you. So you want to grind and farm cards. These give you more stats and build them up. The cards can be shared with other alts. All right, there are some caveats to that. I should point out just a little bit. Like anything that is at 4 stars or higher. Here at 4 stars, you can see I'll have an exclusive stat. Whatever character you open that with or level it up to 4 stars assigns a stat to that character. So these all have Doctor Strange special stats, which is great. Now I can send this card over to, say, Captain Marvel or Iron Man, but it's still going to have this Doctor Strange set. It's not going to change that over to Captain Marvel or Iron Man. So it's going to be not quite as good. Meaning, if you really want this card for Iron Man, you may have to go and farm until you get another one for Iron Man and open it and upgrade it with Iron Man. Or you have to be very careful as you get these cards to send them over before you upgrade them to the characters that you want. So there's an area for researching on these cards. But it's going to be a fun thing that we're going to be searching for cards throughout the whole game, and they're probably going to add some new cards at some point. Anyway, so you can also see the card sets, and you can look at them in advance to kind of make your gameplay. And it just shows you all the different cards, which, again, look at all those lovely covers. So those are mega cards in a nutshell. Enhancing Potential, this is where you start boosting the stats of your character. It starts with like Sorcerer Supreme 1, which gives you like boost to attack, defense, and hit points. But then on the next step, as you scale up, you start using this resource that you get. So this one has hit points or ultimate skill gauge recovery or cooldown decrease. If I go to what unlocks at level 60, it'll include defense, debuff accuracy, cooldown decrease. As you can see, I haven't maxed out the first one, Sorcerer Supreme 1, but I'm already working on the second one. So I'm choosing which things to do. Like, I am not fully working on my defense here, but I've maxed out attack and hit points, and I'm working on things related to hit points and all of the stuff here. So you'll get to choose, and that means characters are going to be different from other people's Doctor Stranges or Iron Mans and things like that, based on the choices you make and how you spend your resources. And then if you need to, you'll go and get more of those resources in order to build something up that you weren't working on. So that's your potential in a nutshell. If a managed core thing, which has to do with the cores on your battle badges. I said they're like gems. You can see them lit up here. Like in this one, you can see this card doesn't have a blue. It has room for a blue core, but I have a yellow core in it. And so these just give extra stats that I put on. It's its own thing, kind of trying to get these random cores and get them to the level that you want. and then socket them in. But again, that starts to come in after level 40 and stuff like that. You can get there quickly enough, but that's just part of it. We'll cover that more. Specialization, I think, comes in at level 70. I don't have that on this character. And once we get there, it allows you to do some others. There's more mechanics. There's a lot of places to really build up and specialize your character, and a lot of places to really grind and have to think and to invest various resources and currency. So that's the heroes tab. That one's pretty big. Now the squad tab, a little bit more. The squad info we talked about. This is your team, and you're gonna have a name. Your name is the name of your squad. It'll apply to all your characters and then your leads. And then you have overall you get these drops of books which will help you level up your squad rank, which gives power to all of your characters. So if you level up your squad way high, when you come in with a low level character, they're going to be stronger than somebody else's low level character because the squad level has been boosted. So it also benefits your main characters as well. So when you get some of these other drops and rewards throughout there, you can spend gold to equip them, which are going to boost your accuracy rate, your guard damage, decrease your debuff accuracy, different things like that. So attack and health and defense, and so that's just going to make you better. And you can see different things that you've done, like the titles, collecting titles, which you can do on all the alts, which is another way that alts can contribute to boosting your squad, because you can get more titles on 8 characters than you can on 1. And different things like that, and various collections and different things that all contribute to your squad level. All right. So they just go through and show the different titles. And again, you can unlock these titles with multiple characters, so that helps boost you. You can set which title you want to show. Card storage. This is where these are all those Omega cards that we talked about earlier. If I want to put a card in storage over here, where this is basically your shared character bank, so then another character can log in and pull this out. So if I wanted to move it around, it's easy peasy. Then your storage, again, this is your shared bank. As you can see, I have a few things in here. I've got a bunch of battle badges, and because these are slightly better battle badges, and I was hoping that some of my alts may want to benefit from them, because I can give them to them if they can equip them, so they can check. These are those cores that I kind of keep there for socketing and just to keep them off my character. And again, gear. You can give gear to one another, but my Doctor Strange gear is only going to work for Doctor Strange. But when you use the gear to what I call grind it up in order to level up a particular piece of gear, I can use Iron Man's gear, his trash items that you don't throw them away or vendor them. You give them to your crafter, and you work on leveling up whatever gear you're working on for whichever character. So you'll find, because you need 6 pieces of, or 5 additional pieces of gear to level up one piece of gear to the next level. So and then rinse and repeat multiple times. So you end up needing a lot of gear leveled up, and you want to get that and do that. So this is your bank. So that's your squad level. Your inventory, we already saw this. This is the same inventory. It's just another link to that. Your headquarters, this is just showing the links for some of the buildings. There's a place where you can grind up and work on the costumes, a place where you dump some stuff in to take advantage of it, to get another currency for another random drop. The workshop, which is where you do crafting. The combining cores, which is where you work on those gems or cores in order to see if you can make them better. It is very much a crapshoot, so people are divided about whether it's even worth doing right now. Anyway, so that's on the left side. Over on the right side, we have the records section. Now, this is going to give you a lot of things when you make some achievements. So challenges, you got your daily challenges, and you can see they're in progress. You'll be able to claim things when you complete them. Like this one says, dismantle an item 5 times, then I'll get some money and some squad rank XP. All right, so it builds up. When you do some upgrading activities, you get different challenges there. When you do some stuff in battles, like defeat 150,000 villains, apparently I'm pretty close to that, I'll get a chest for a low-level piece of costume gear, which will be crap, but I will use it to grind up to improve another costume. That's the idea. And challenges, when you do some different things in the game. So this will naturally happen over time, and then the things on your dailies you'll end up trying to do, every day. Your collections, like when you complete a costume, you start to get rewarding. So we get some, these are the in-game crystals or currency, and some other stats that gives you squad power upgrades. So there are plenty. I don't have all these sets, but as you complete each set, you get it. So it gives you a reason to collect. Got to catch them all. Got to collect them all. You'll get more stuff. And same thing with battle badge sets. You'll get that. You can kind of collect anything, collecting the different Omega cards. Collectibles, these are things that are lying on the ground in little boxes. They're easy to spot when you're in a new section, and you just farm them up and make sure you get them. You cash them in for some other currency. And your consumables, again, different things like getting all of the health potions, which are these red pots, different thing. So the activity log helps you out. These are the different regions. You can see on this character, they're not all unlocked, but I've been, and like in New Stark City, I've completed all the different things to do there. It's a good way to track because you can figure out if you're missing something, and you might have missed a side mission or something like that. But you can look at your epic missions, the side missions, you can see them all. And again, if they're not done, you'll have an idea of what you're tracking down. Most Wanted relates to killing like the bosses that appear in the world. And it kind of tells you where they are. And also, if you look down here, like Kingpin, villain kills 2 of 2. There's an amount that you want to kill each of these people and farm them 3 of 3 in the world for additional credit. And then just a regular villain log. As you uncover new villains, you get more rewards for uncovering them. But I've got everybody on here. And then the collectibles, so that we said. But like if we go to Xandarth, where I'm still working, there are new missions I haven't done. There are side missions. Most Wanted, like you can see with Yellow Jacket, he's one of the boss figures, not just like the Outrider Slaughterer here is, again, an elite mob that shows up. I need to kill him 30 times, and I've only done 11. And with Yellow Jacket, I'm supposed to get him 10 times, and I've only done him 3 times. So it gives you a way to check that stuff out. And then the villains that come out, and your collectibles. So this can be very handy for some of those things. Your rankings has to do with the weekly rankings that you have, and different pieces, because you get payouts after the week is done. This will make more sense later in the game. So then we go into some of the stuff that you do on your daily and weekly stuff. Your operations, the Blitz mode, which comes out. These are different battles that you can do with pairing up with other people to go into some instance battles, fighting bosses like Kingpin, Ultron, and MODOK, and that sort of thing. And you have to do them daily. Well, you're offered to do them daily as part of your dailies, and it's a good idea to do that. So you got your Most Wanted, which in this case, it always takes you to Rocket Raccoon when you're here and lets you know who are the 3 people you're supposed to be looking for to farm. So you then go and figure out where they are by following that, go to the map, and try to see if you can catch them and compete. So that's another thing. Special operations is a once daily thing. You can repeat it, but it only counts once and pays out once. However, since you're getting a weekly ranking, sometimes you want to repeat it in order to rank better. But you do the special ops, you get some rewards. We can see some decent little chests and gold and stuff. One of the big things is the Sin Particle, which you're going to get 8 to 12 of these. These are essential and kind of the part of the bottleneck for your crafting. And so if you're doing crafting at all, you're going to want these. And this is the only place primarily to get them. I think there's one alternate small way to get them, but this is your main daily way to do it. So if you don't do it, you're going to be really low. So if you do want to craft, you're going to need to do special ops. Those are usually like 10-minute kind of instance things. Go up. They're fun and can be a bit of a challenge. And your battle challenges, where you kind of fight through a gauntlet or a tower to go through and see how you can do for your week and how well you can do with your character. And there's certain like tasks and special things making it harder that you want to hit the achievements. And then some raid stuff, which I'll unlock at level 70 for that. So again, more and more modes where you pop in and do stuff in addition to what you're doing on the storyline. We go into Arena, which has the Omega War, Dimension Duel, and Dark Zone. Again, higher level stuff with kind of the PvP elements, one-on-one team fights, different things like that. We'll have those available in later videos and such. Then our final button is over on your alliance. You are going to want to get into a good alliance like you want to in any game with some active people who are active players. They by working together, you can level up your alliance, which gives you perks. Oh, and it is going away. So you can see a notice that I'm going to be needing to find a new alliance here. Anyway, the alliance is around. We have alliance missions that you work on. Some of them require you working cooperatively with people and doing stuff with other people in your alliance and just kind of contributing. You can donate, which now that I know it's going away, we're not going to be donating. And you get some perks as you level it up. Different things you can buy from the alliance shop, things like that. So, and then some loyalty, and you check in. So it is a good thing to do, and I'll be looking on my future alliance. So we'll go from there. So that screen really is the kind of a driver for you. So that gives you, and then I think mainly you just follow your quests, your main quests and your side quests in something in order to kind of work on things in the PvP story, and it naturally starts to take you to the next zones and go through boss fights and things like that. So hopefully this is helpful and just a beginner thing to get you set up. Just be aware the game's going globally released on the 25th. I hope you're excited. Let me know down below in the comments if you are. Please make sure that you give us a thumbs up and like this video. It really helps a lot, as well as subscribe. It's free and helps us out. Really helps with beating the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And let us know in the comments what you're thinking, who you're excited to play, and what you expect to be doing in this game most. Anyway, down in the comments. Also in the description, you'll see links to my Twitch stream, where I stream generally every day, Pacific time after work in the evenings, weekdays, and then throughout the weekends, all throughout the day at different times. So it hits all kinds of time zones. So check that out. Give me a follow on Twitch and drop in, as well as links to my Discord server where you can hang out with us, get game news on this and other games, and find people to play with. I'm going to go look and figure out who's still playing the game for alliances as I get my alliance. So come on over, and thanks again. You guys take care, and cock-a-doodle-doo.